Hi folks, today I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily adjust free play on this rear brake pedal on a KTM. KTMs, unlike some manufacturers, use two different adjusters, one for the pedal height and one for the free play to your rear master cylinder. The trick though is that you can't adjust the brake pedal height and not check your free play on a KTM. It's two different adjustments. Changing this adjustment affects the adjustment of the other, and if you don't check it, you can get some very undesirable results. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and remove this cover because the adjuster for the free play is actually hidden behind it. I'll go ahead and pull this out of position so you can see, and you adjust the rod height by loosening up this lock nut and screwing the rod in or out of the bottom piece here. And I'm going to show you how to adjust it so it's properly set. Now before you start making any adjustments, you do need to put the bolts back in through the master cylinder bracket here because everything needs to be in the same exact position as it will be once the cover's put back on. Cover's off, bolts are run back in. You can see clearly this push rod and adjuster as it goes up into the master cylinder now. KTM calls for a free play adjustment of 3 to 5 millimeters out here at the tip of the brake lever. If you don't make both adjustments, here's what happens. And let's just say because I flipped this lever to the higher side that I decided I wanted to drop it down some to compensate. After you get it to the height you want, you simply snug your lock nut back down. I can still move the brake lever, that's no problem. But I don't actually have any play before this lever is engaging the master cylinder back here, and the lever is not allowing the master cylinder to completely open back up. When that happens, the fluid that's been pushed into the rear brake caliper cannot flow back through and back up into the reservoir. My rear brake now is dragging, and the reason why is because I moved the lever down so far to get it to where I wanted that I've eliminated all the free play here on this push rod. When you do that, your brake is very quickly going to overheat as you're riding the bike. You're going to end up destroying not only your brake caliper and your pads and your rotor, but it could also lead to a complete lockup because as that fluid heats up in the rear brake caliper, you don't just get this amount of drag, you get additional drag as that fluid expands. Alright, so to avoid that problem, come back here, loosen up your lock nut. After you've loosened up the lock nut, you need to screw this rod back down into the lower housing and get yourself some free play back. Alright, now that I've backed that off a little bit, I'm going to check my free play, and I see that I have, well, maybe 3 millimeters of free play, maybe a little bit more, but the bottom line is I do have some free play. Now let's see what's happening back here at the rear tire and see if we still have brake drag. See, my brake drag is now gone, and that's because I have put free play back into the system. Again, if you don't adjust that free play and get it right, you are going to have problems with your rear brake. Alright, once you have your bolts back in and torqued into position, make one last check, make sure your free play is still how you wanted it adjusted, rotate your wheel one more time, make sure there's no brake drag, and you're done. Life is good.